Why do men ignore women? That's what I'm going to be discussing in today's video. My name is Maria and I'm a Mars, Venus and NLP coach, and I teach single women about men, dating, relationships, but also their own role in this, so they do have more success in love. And in today's video we're going to be discussing why men actually ignore women. Because the thing is, it is a choice. It is a choice to ignore you. And this might sound very harsh, and I'm sorry, because this might be very painful for you that the guy that you like starts to all of a sudden ignore you. But this is the case, that it is a choice from his side. So figuring out why he does this, I can understand it's going to be very helpful, because what's going on in your mind right now is that you're probably overanalyzing. You're overanalyzing the whole situation, and I want to help you so your brain can have peace. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing 5 reasons why this actually happens. And I'm going to be starting right away with the first one. And the first one is actually the most uncommon one. And this one is only valid if the man that you're dating has been taking a lot of initiative, if he's been investing in you. So you just really feel that the guy that you've been dating was very invested into you, and then all of a sudden he starts ignoring you. And this is the number one, is that you might have hurt his feelings or you upset him. Because very often what happens is that we think it's us, that we made a mistake, that we upset him in whatever way, shape or form. But this is only valid when the guy has really been investing into you. Because you're not making any mistakes unless this has happened. So the guy has been forward, he's been investing into you, and then all of a sudden from one day to the next he pulls away, he ignores you completely. And then it might be that you actually did something that hurt his feelings. And very often you do know. But very often we think that this is the case all the time. But it's not the case all the time. It is very often not the case. And very often it's the other reasons that I'm going to be sharing with you. But if the guy has been very forward, investing in you, and you just know that he really liked you, then it's good to do an auto-evaluation, see where you might have communicated things that might have upset him, might have hurt his feelings. But that's only in the first one the case, that you hurt his feelings. Second, you've done too much. The thing is, you know that men like to chase, that men need to chase to grow feelings for us. But the thing is, if we take over as women the chase, we do that by texting him more than he texts us, by asking to see him more than he asks us, asking him more questions about his life than he's asking us. Then we are in the lead, then we are trying to take control. In the beginning, he might actually like it that you do that. So the first message that he gets from you, like, hey, how are you? He might be like, oh, she's thinking about me. How nice is that? And he responds back. The next day is again, hey, how are you? How's your day going? And he responds back. And then the third day, he's going to be like, okay, I will reply later. The interest will go down because a man needs the chase. The man needs the hunt. He just needs it. So when you've been doing too much, after some time, he might start to lose interest actually. And over some time, he might start ignoring your messages because he simply doesn't like to be chased. In the beginning, it felt okay. But after some time, he loses interest because he feels that you are actually taking on the chase instead of doing. So you're pretty much doing his job. And it doesn't feel good to him. So he might not consciously know what's going on, but a man really loses interest when he feels hunted and when he feels chased. So then just look back and go through your messages where you may have asked him way more questions than he asked you. Or that you initiated to see each other most of the time. Or when you were the one initiating texts more often than he does, or way more often than he does. So this is how you can determine if this was actually the case. And then I can just give you an advice and take a step back, let him take the lead again. So number 2 is that you've done too much. You initiated too much and you took too much of control. Number 3 is that he's not interested enough. So probably you also have it that some men you really, really, really are interested in and some just less. And that is okay. You just don't feel the match. Can be a great guy for someone else. But you do want to see how things are going, maybe if things develop. And then it just doesn't develop as much as he wants to. And some men really don't like to bring the bad news. They don't like to say, hey, I don't feel connected enough, or I don't feel the match, I don't feel whatever it is. And they start ignoring your messages. So when a guy does this, and you will already probably understand what I'm trying to say here, because when a guy is very interested in you, he will invest a lot into you. He will initiate, he will ask you on a date, he will try to see you. But a guy that is not interested enough will not put so much investment into you, will not invest so much into you. So after some time, he might actually stop communicating altogether. And then when you reach out, he starts ignoring your messages. Men don't like to bring the bad news. So what they do is just simply start to ignore you. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm very sorry, I don't feel connected enough, I don't feel the match, or whatever it is. Some men don't like to bring the bad news and they just start ignoring your messages. So if this happens, but you can really tell already actually that he's not been investing that much into you, then you actually know that this guy has not been that interested. So this is maybe hurtful, but do see this as your power instead of feel rejected, because this actually opens the door to finding a man that really is investing into you, that is going to invest into you. Because if this guy is not going to invest in you, it's okay. It's really okay. You will find a man that is going to invest in you. Number 4, and I did want to share this one because this one can be a bit tricky, and that's why I always say take your time to get to know a person. Don't invest your heart immediately, because this is the guy, and it can also definitely be a guy that has not been investing so much, but it can also be a guy that has invested a lot into you and that you really feel that he likes you, and then all of a sudden he pulls away. So what can be the case is that he actually has a girlfriend, and you might be like, oh no, this cannot be. I've had that. So that's why I always say take your time to get to know the man and see how things will develop. Because if you really put your heart in from day one because you like him so much, then this might be very painful down the line. So take your time to get to know the guy, and do know that this is an option. Here in the Netherlands, I don't know if the numbers are correct in my head, but I read an article not too long ago that there's 2.7 million singles here in the Netherlands, and 3.3 million people are on dating apps. So that means that there are more people that are dating than there are single. So do know, and I've had this happen myself as well. The guy was very forward and I really had the feeling that he liked me. And then he started to ignore me all of a sudden from one day to the next when I wanted to go to his place. Because he had a whole family. I didn't know this. So do know that this can happen as well, and that this can definitely be the case. So that's why I always say take your time to get to know a guy and don't invest your heart from day one, because he might be Mr. Right, yes, but he might also be Mr. Wrong. And then number 5, the last one, and this might be also a guy that invested a lot into you and you feel that he's been into you a lot, or maybe not, can be, definitely. And then from one day to the next starts ignoring you, is the guy that has commitment issues. So do know that there are guys out there who are afraid to commit themselves, that are actually afraid of love, afraid maybe to be unsuccessful in making a woman happier, or they've been hurt, or whatever is going on. And what I see happening a lot is that very often these men either have been how do you say, in and out, like very inconsistent. That's the best word to say this. And then you really feel like you're getting close, and then all of a sudden he really pulls away or starts ignoring you. So you really feel that once you open up, that he pulls away. So this dynamic of an elastic band, but then to the extreme, that once you get close, he really pulls away. Then it can be that he actually has commitment issues. But this can also definitely be the guy when you really, take my word for it, other dating coaches' word for it, that a guy needs to chase, that a guy needs to be forward, that he needs to invest in you. And then from one day to the next, he starts ignoring your messages. It can also be the case, of course, that he has a girlfriend, as I said before, that he hurt his feelings through the auto-evaluation, number 1 that we had today. But it can also be that he has commitment issues. So that can be definitely the case. So as I said in the previous one, take your time to get to know the guy. Really think of 2 to 6 months that you're dating together. You don't know him. You just simply don't know him. So take your time to get to know him and see how things are going to develop. So these were the ones that I wanted to share with you. And before I wrap up, I'm going to give you my free gift. The 5 types of men you need to avoid during dating. Because what I've done myself is, and I see this happening a lot, smart women who are investing in men that cannot give them what they're looking for. They're investing in a Mr. Wrong. And you might be thinking, that's not me. But at least be open. Be open to learn more about this. Because it happens a lot. Actually, all my coaching clients, I would say almost all my coaching clients, and these are smart, beautiful women, invest in the wrong type of men. So I made an ebook, The 5 Types of Men to Avoid During Dating. So you can prepare yourself once you go out there, that you don't just invest your heart, but you also take your mind with you, because this is a combination of the mind and the heart. And I always say, I don't like the word play, but I haven't found a better word yet, that you need to play this smart. You need to know what kind of men to invest in and what men not, because you're gonna lose precious time if you continue to invest in Mr. Wrongs, and you might have another heartbreak. So I don't want that for you. So that's why I wrote the ebook 5 Types of Men to Avoid During Dating. I'm going to make sure that it's going to be in the description below, so you can download it for free. Well, that's the end of the video. I really want to wrap up, and I want to wish you a wonderful day, and I hope to see you at another video of mine. Bye bye.